Alright, so we are just back from Seychelles and we are serving quarantine, and I thought it would be useful for you to know what we packed for those amazing holidays that we had. You mostly want to go there to enjoy the beaches, the scenery, the amazing food, meeting people, going for boat tours. So you don't want to do shopping and think about where to find certain things because the stores are very small there. That's why we packed and brought a lot of things. And I decided to share with you what actually was useful. You're probably going to go for snorkeling or for diving or just for a quick swim. So you may want to bring your own swimming equipment. So apart from the swimming suit, I suggest you get those. Tuba, snorkeling gear, the usual snorkeling gear, and of course your fins. We're very happy to have those because when we checked the prices, it was not very cheap. Plus, you cannot find it in every store, and it's quite a detour to go to the main city to find a big supermarket with those equipment. There's another thing which was useful during our holiday. It was the quick to dry towels. Since it's the two of us, I brought 4 of them because they don't take much space. You can easily bring them on a boat tour. They dry easily and quickly. We mainly stayed in Airbnbs, in guest houses, and I have a pair of those just in case the houses, the accommodation you are staying in don't provide that. Regarding diving, snorkeling, or just walking in the beach, I brought my own snorkeling shoes, kept them in the bag because they're still full of sand. Although the waters are shallow, there are corals and there are like a lot of shells and stones on the sand, so you don't want to hurt your feet. So those were useful. The next thing I really liked was those waterproof bags. So I have 2 of them. Well, one which is much bigger where I put my camera inside. I haven't seen any in any store. Maybe I didn't spend enough time in those stores for shopping, but try to get one at least for your phone because you want to take some photos back and share with your friends or family. It was just increasingly hot when we were there, so of course you need to have your hats. You can have different forms and caps. Just take anything that protects you from the sun, and for that we did bring for each one of us a bottle of sunblock. Another thing which I found very useful is those swimsuits. When you go for snorkeling, you may stay quite long under the water and get a sunburn, so you may want to get those suits which protect your whole body against the sun and sometimes against any cuts. It did happen to me that I went for snorkeling just in a bikini. I got a few cuts on my legs because I was swimming too close to the corals or to the stones, and therefore I had a few cuts on my legs, which is not very nice. So I also brought this wound spray because I'm quite clumsy and I usually get cuts. So in the case of snorkeling, I did get some cuts from the corals and the stones, and it just helps to sanitize quickly. Another thing which is very important is the mosquito repellent. We got this at a local store. That's what they sell in their grocery stores. You can find them pretty everywhere. I'm not sure it's efficient because this was still bitten by a lot of mosquitoes, but if you don't have any choice and if you didn't bring your own, do buy at least a bottle for yourself and put it on whenever you are not covering your legs. That was only applicable to me. Nico didn't have this problem. I don't know why there is this mosquito discrimination. I also packed a lot of leggings because for dinner usually I try to go out wearing leggings. Whenever we went for a trek, I did wear leggings to cover my legs, usually cover myself to make sure I don't have more bites. The thing on the products that you could bring apart from the sunblock, one spray, mosquito repellent, there's one thing which I regret not having taken is an aloe vera dose or aloe vera gel or something that actually helps you calm your sunburn, because on the last day we were just very happy to go for a boat tour, and Nico got a sunburn, and that was very bad. He got his whole face very red. Regret not having packed that part. Whenever we went for a trek or for a boat tour, actually whenever we went out, we did take ponchos with us because we're sure when it's going to rain, and a poncho actually covers your whole self completely, and so we always have those. It's foldable, it doesn't take much space, so compared to an umbrella it's lighter, so in a backpack it's just nice. And that brings me to the next thing we find useful. Of course, you will need a backpack, at least to put a bottle of water and to put a poncho, or like mosquito repellent, camera, and other stuff that you may find useful, necessary during your trip. In case you're like us going for a road trip, I brought this cooler bag. We usually go for the day. Whenever we go for a boat trip, whenever we went for a day of sightseeing, we want to have some fresh and cold water because it was very hot. So what I do is that the night before, I will put a bottle of water in the freezer, and I will put it next to my other bottles so that it will keep the other bottles very cold. It was very useful, you know, whenever you see those stalls selling fresh fish, you are able to bring it and make sure that it stays fresh until you cook it. The item which Nico was at first laughing at me because I got it from a dollar store, Daiso in Singapore, and it's this Sunshade cover for your car. So I had a very bad memory of our last trip in Australia, where it was so hot, and whenever we went back to the car, the wheel and the seats were so burning hot we couldn't sit until we have the AC cooling them down. So if you are going for a road trip, do bring one of those. They are quite cheap, plus foldable, not taking much space in your luggage. Definitely have to take one. I have also not seen any of those in the little stores, and we didn't go to the supermarket until the last day when we wanted to buy some souvenir. And maybe you don't want to spend your time in a supermarket during your holiday as well, looking for those stuff when it's so easy to find them when you're living in a city. So, because we are moving from one Airbnb to one Airbnb, there's always leftover food, fruits, so it's nice to have those Ziplocs. Plus, I do bring a few of them in my waterproof bag whenever we go for a boat tour. It's just an extra insurance for me to keep my gear, camera, equipment safely waterproof. So I do put them in those bags inside this waterproof bag, just in case they get any drop of water. Of course, if when you're going on holidays you want to take nice pictures, and if there's one camera in addition to your phone which you want to bring, it's a GoPro or any action camera. Proven useful, although sometimes I feel like the battery life isn't long enough. There's two tips about that. The first thing is, if you're bringing a camera, make sure you bring enough SD cards, memory cards, and extra battery to make sure that it will last you at least a day. Usually when we go out for a sightseeing or a boat trip or a trek, we usually gone for a minimum of few hours. So do bring extra battery, extra memory card, and of course, because it often rains, or if you're going on a boat tour or you're going for snorkeling and you want to capture those nice fish in your camera, you need to bring those waterproof case and this handle, which is waterproof and floatable, and of course it was useful to take a picture of those fish. Yes, there's another thing which Liko was laughing at me before we left, and that's this light, this headlight, which has proven very useful, especially if you are going to Ledig Island. Why? In Ledig Island, you don't have light in all the streets, so we rented 2 bikes. And at night, there's just no light in certain streets. So this has proven it has proven to be a lifesaver, because we managed to find our Airbnb, which was not on the main street. So we managed to find our Airbnb thanks to this. So do bring one if you are planning to visit Ledig Island. And of course, make sure before you go to have enough battery. Last but not least, this is what the plugs look like in Seychelles. It's exactly the same as what we have in Singapore, so it doesn't change much. We didn't need an adapter. Of course, if you're coming from another country, you will need one. So at night, plugging your camera, your phone, your laptop, and any other gadget, you may need an extender. So we usually bring at least one, so that we are comfortable with charging our equipment. Plus, when you're checking in the Airbnb, you're never sure how many plugs you will find, so it's just nice to bring an extender. So this is what I packed before I went to the Seychelles. Do drop me a comment if you think I missed out something, and I hope you find it useful. See you!